once with an assault rifle. No one needs 10 bullets to kill a deer, and too many innocent people have died already. End the madness now.
Late today, Governor Cuomo made good on his word, putting his signature on the toughest gun law in the nation. Good evening, everyone. I'm Don Postos. The historic and controversial law makes New York the first state to dramatically stiffen gun laws after last month's massacre at a Connecticut grade school. Included in this tough new legislation are big changes to gun sales. The sale of assault weapons on the internet now banned, and there are also tougher penalties for gun violence. The so-called Webster provision, named after the Christmas Eve tragedy that claimed the life of two firefighters near Rochester, calls for life in prison for anyone who shoots at first responders. News 4's Anthony Conji has a closer look at the new gun law.
I think the people of the state correctly said they want something done, and they want something done now.
The New York SAFE Act has many components to it. It requires background checks for all private gun sales. It reinforces the state's existing assault weapons ban, limits the number of bullets held in magazines, and strengthens rules that keeps the mentally ill from owning firearms. In Western New York, most lawmakers oppose the legislation. 2 of 6 state senators voted for the bill. In the Assembly, 8 of our 10 local Assembly members voted against the bill, including freshman Assemblyman David DiPietro.
From what I understand, 12 times as many homicides are committed in New York State by people who are on drugs and on welfare. So I would assume that if later in the year a bill gets brought up that we are going to drug test all welfare recipients, that we will be in unanimous support for that.
Jane Corwin was another who voted against the measure. Last night, she tweeted about the secrecy of the meetings and said, quote, "Reminds me of the Patterson administration. Functional government starts at the top." The New York GOP released a statement praising Republicans for the addition of certain items, but also said, however, in his rush to be the first governor in the nation to pass any gun control legislation, Cuomo missed the opportunity to get gun policy right. But the governor stands by his decision to bypass the normal 3-day comment period before a vote.
It wouldn't make a heck of a lot of sense to announce a ban 3 days later and just generate, hundreds and hundreds of sales of assault weapons in the state when we're trying to ban those sales.
The SAFE Act includes a statewide gun registry and adds a uniform licensing standard across the state. Currently, each county or municipality sets their own standard. Mental health professionals will now be required to report any patient who is considered to be a threat to themselves or anyone else.
Now, if you own certain style assault weapons that you bought before 1994, those have to be registered for the first time. Pistol permit holders will also now have to recertify at least every 5 years. Now, we know that was a lot to take in, and there are several more stipulations. On WIVB.com, we have posted much more information for you all to look at. Anthony Conji for the 10 o'clock news.
Thank you, Anthony. The new laws are not sitting well with everyone. Many gun advocates are questioning why New York, which already has some of the toughest gun control laws, needs even tighter regulations. Some feel the new laws make them the targets.
The scrutiny that people go through to be able to buy guns and own pistol permits and all that already is enough. And New York State already has some of the strictest laws. So why make New York so tough on everybody who follows the laws?
What right does the government got to want to come after law-abiding citizens when hoodlums on the street, they arrest them and they're out in 3 weeks and they're shooting other people and they get back in jail and they let them go again?
Many of the gun owners we spoke to do support the mental health aspect of the assault weapon ban.